It was the coldest night New York had seen in years. The city, usually so alive with noise and movement, had slowed to a quiet hum under a blanket of frost. Cars passed less frequently. Pedestrians hurried past bundled in layers, heads down, breaths fogging in the freezing air. Inside warm homes, people sipped cocoa, turned on fireplaces, and stayed in, safe and sheltered from the cold world outside. But not everyone had that privilege. David Turner zipped up his thick coat as he stepped out of his car near 42nd Street. His arms were full, not with food, or gifts, but with blankets. Every winter, for the past 5 years, he had made it his quiet mission to hand out warmth to those forgotten by the world. No cameras. No social media posts. Just an act of quiet kindness. Tonight, he had a dozen fleece blankets, some packed meals, and thermal socks. He moved street to street, offering what little he could to the homeless, exchanging smiles, listening briefly to stories, shaking hands that hadn't felt warmth in weeks. It wasn't much, but it was something. As he turned the corner into a quieter alleyway off Madison Avenue, he saw a figure curled tightly into herself, hidden behind a stack of flattened cardboard boxes. Just a heap of tattered clothes, it seemed, until he heard the softest cough. David approached slowly, crouching a few feet away. "Hey," he said gently. "Are you okay?" There was no answer. He came a little closer. "I've got a warm blanket. And some food. You need anything?" Still no response. But then, the pile moved. A frail hand emerged, gripping the edge of a scarf that covered a face. He offered the blanket, unfolding it and laying it beside her. "Here. It's clean. It'll help." Finally, the woman shifted. Slowly, painfully, she sat up. Her face was young, no more than 30. But her skin was cracked, lips dry, and eyes swollen from either cold or crying, or both. She didn't speak. She only looked at him with a gaze so hollow, it almost frightened him. David, unsure whether to speak or give space, reached into his bag. "I have food too, pasta, water, socks." She blinked, slowly. Then finally, she whispered, "Thank you." Her voice was like broken glass, weak, trembling, as if it hadn't been used in days. "You want me to leave it here?" he asked. She nodded, almost imperceptibly. David placed the food and socks down, then stood, hesitating. "Are you alone out here?" She looked down at her hands. "Always." Something in that one word struck him. He knelt again. "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Alyssa." "Alyssa. I'm David." He extended his hand. She stared at it for a long moment before slowly placing her cold hand in his. It was like ice. She pulled away quickly. "I'll be around here for another hour if you need anything else," he said. "Don't hesitate, okay?" She gave a faint nod. As David turned to go, something caught his eye, a folder partially hidden under her cardboard shelter. It was old and worn, but clean, and out of place among the clutter. Something made him pause. "Is that yours?" She followed his gaze, her body tensing. He took a step back. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry." But Alyssa surprised him. She reached for the folder, opened it slowly, and inside was something David never expected, a degree. Columbia University. Bachelor of Science in Biology. Graduated with honors. He blinked in disbelief. "That's yours?" She looked at him, tears welling. "Was. A long time ago." He was stunned. "You went to Columbia?" She gave a sad smile. "Once upon a time." David sat down, ignoring the cold biting through his coat. How did this happen?" he asked, unable to stop himself. She stared at her hands. "Life happened. My mom got sick right after I graduated. I took care of her. Worked double shifts. Took out loans. Then she passed, and I fell behind. Lost my job. Lost my apartment. And then. I just lost everything. Her voice cracked. Every time I tried to get back up, something pulled me further down. I applied everywhere. No one wanted someone with gaps in their resume. I got evicted. Slept in my car until it got towed. Now I'm here. David's heart ached. Why didn't you ask for help? I did, she said, tears falling freely now. But people don't see you once you're down. They look away. Or they give you $1 and walk faster. He was silent. I kept my degree, she whispered. To remind myself I wasn't always nothing. David reached into his pocket and handed her a tissue. She clutched it like it was gold. I'm so sorry, Alyssa, he said. She looked at him with hollow eyes. People think being homeless is just about not having a house. It's not. It's about not being seen. Not being remembered. Not being human. That night, David didn't leave after an hour. He sat with her until the sky started to turn pale with dawn. He brought her hot coffee. He brought her gloves. And most importantly, he brought her hope. The next day, David did something he'd never done before, he told someone. He called a friend who worked at a women's shelter. Then he called a contact at a small nonprofit that helped women re-enter the workforce. By evening, Alyssa was in a warm bed, with a shower, clean clothes, and a counselor. And within a month, she had an interview. It wasn't easy. Trauma isn't erased with warmth and soap. It takes time. Trust. Healing. But Alyssa showed up. And she showed them her degree. She told them the truth. And someone, finally, saw her. 6 months later, David walked into a health clinic on the Lower East Side for his checkup. He signed in, sat down, and waited. Then a voice called out, "Mr. Turner." He looked up. It was her. Alyssa, in a white coat, clipboard in hand, smiling. She had gotten a job as a medical assistant at the clinic, helping with patient intake while finishing a certificate to restart her career in public health. David smiled, speechless. "I guess this time," she said, "you didn't need to bring me a blanket." He stood, and in a rare moment of emotion, hugged her. "I didn't just bring you a blanket," he whispered. "You brought me perspective.